Hello?
Hello?
Is this Kevin?
Yes, this is Kevin speaking.
Hey, Kevin, this is Tommy Bryson. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. Just want you to know that this call is live, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I wanted to make sure. I'm sorry. I thought it was 4:45.
Well,
It's
yes, it's 4:45, but we might be ending this live soon, so that's why I'm calling in early to kind of like get your questions in now.
okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. I can go right into it now. You want me to go right into the questions now?
Yeah, just go ahead. How can I help?
Okay. Yes. So my first question I wanted to know is, I with my YouTube channel, it's mostly based on financial literacy, and I work in financial planning. And the whole reason of why I wanted to create the channel is to just build credibility around my financial planning. So I wanted to kind of get your tips on, for someone that's trying to be, um, I guess I'm trying to just perfect my expertise on what I know in my field, and just trying to build credibility with my audience. What are some recommendations that I can do to kind of help grow and blend that with a financial planning practice?
Okay, so I would go ahead and read a book. It's called A Thousand Superfans by Pat Flynn.
Okay, Pat
Second,
Flynn.
yeah, Pat Flynn. A Thousand Superfans by Pat Flynn. Second is what you're doing is leveraging YouTube to help you grow your client base in your business, or kind of become like a reputable person that people actually want to sign up with, right? That's the whole concept.
Exactly. To do business with. Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So the best way that I would do that if I was you, Kevin, would be basically, hey, I'm gonna start making content, solving problems and helping people. And then the idea is not to have like a scarcity mindset, saying like, well, if I give them the answer, how am I guaranteed to get them as a client? The answer is, well, if you help someone, you give them the answer, everything they basically need, they're able to go ahead and basically call you when they need, for example, like a more like direct help, or just to help you basically manage the whole thing. Does that make sense? Basically, you
Yeah,
start
yeah.
by giving people value. Once they find your
Yep.
channel through value, whether it's 10 people, 20 people, you're able to say, hey, well, all right, great. You watch my channel, then that basically leads into a relationship, which then leads into, for example, them becoming a client, because you have the rapport building stage, you have the trust earning, and then you have finally like the funnel, then you go through the sale. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. So I guess my next question is, and I actually have listened to some of your other callers. I have a friend named Timothy Williams, a great friend of mine. We grew up in the same city, and I love some of the advice you gave him with just being able to use different channels, and not trying, because you were trying to describe it as, it's more of like watching TV. So you don't want to have everything mixed into one.
Yeah.
And I think one challenge that I'm facing is I have a podcast as well, where I talk about financial content, and I also have guests that come on that work in various different industries. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily want to have to, I guess, start over, with having to create a whole nother channel, because I feel that have seen a lot of people successful where they'll create micro content. So they'll do their podcast, and then they'll take like a short form of content out of that podcast, and they'll put it on the YouTube,
It's
but
called
they'll still
highlights.
release, yeah, like they'll take the main highlights, but they'll still post like the whole video of
Yeah, but
what
the
they did
the
on the
thing, okay,
podcast.
all right. So pause. So what you're describing is basically you have one main channel that has the full episode podcast, and then you have, for example, the highlight channel, which is separate. That has, for example, all the highlights of the main parts of the whole thing. Now, if you're doing, for example, like a main channel, as far as, for example, like more like just answering finance questions, then you have like the podcast, and you have the podcast highlights, it's still like relevant to like the same thing. And in reality, like when you have a podcast, you can basically schedule like a lot of people for the same day, and you have, if you're uploading, for example, once a week, 10 guests equal, for example, 10 weeks. Not really that much work, right? So that's that. And on top of that, if you have like an hour conversation with someone, have a topic list, right, of all those questions. That way, if you can get out of 1 hour, at least like a question every minute or whatever, that's 10 questions per podcast. That's like 10 days, right? So it's like it keeps building up and building up and building up. So every podcast leads to having 10 highlights. Every podcast is for 1 week. You schedule them together, you bulk them up, and you can upload. The other channel, you kind of just go ahead and basically build it up also just answering finance questions. Now, the main thing is, right, you can't worry about numbers. Yes, I recommend you get, for example, YouTube books also to figure out the algorithm, how it works. But the answer is, how much do you charge as a financial planner if I wanted to be your client?
So for financial, so I work more from the perspective of I work with a company, so clients come to me, so it's not more of me basing my it's not to that level yet where I'm actually charging. Clients mostly come to me, and that's all done through the company. They have their
So
set
are you doing
amount.
commissions? Are you doing commissions? Or are you actually a financial planner?
So it's not commission either. We get bonuses, but it's more based off of, we have a book of clients that we have to
Are
call
you a
out to,
fiduciary?
but they come. You said, am I to what?
Are you a fiduciary?
Yeah, I'm in the process of becoming a fiduciary advisor. I'm taking licensing, different
Okay.
licenses for that right now. I'm in the process of that right now.
All right, awesome. Look, whatever. So it sounds like you're just gonna be getting clients to funnel into into this company, because
Yes.
there has to be like a competition clause in your contract, is there not?
Competition clause. Yes, there is. Yeah, it definitely is.
So yeah, so
It
look,
definitely.
so you have to be careful here, right? Because the answer is, if you do try to do this and take on clients, potentially get fired and sued. If you do try to do this and have people just go to that company directly, you'll basically just be getting like a tiny amount of money of what you actually do deserve. So potentially what you could do is just help people, maybe have a course and like help them that way. If you want to like manage your
Yeah,
investments, which is fine, you can do that through the company. But again, it's understanding that those people are going to go through the company first, then through you potentially. It's just a commission check, but it's not really like the full amount for yourself. Does that make sense?
yeah, it does. Um, and just to kind of give more clarity, I do plan to do my own thing, so I am very
By the way,
careful of
by the
that.
way, by the way,
Um,
by the way, I just said like your first name, so give no more details about who you are, where you work. This is a live call. The last thing I want to see is you get in trouble or anything like that. Okay, so feel free to speak, but keep in
okay,
mind, keep your identity anonymous. Okay. Sorry, keep going.
I
You want
appreciate
to
that.
make your own thing.
Yeah, yeah. So I definitely want to do my own thing, and I guess the whole reason for the channel is to kind of build like plant seeds for people that I could potentially do business with. But by no means I'm not trying to come off as really trying to sell and bringing them into the company, because I do understand the fiduciary standpoint of that. You have to be careful. It's a fine line with that. So
Yeah.
I guess just specifically with the YouTube, another thing I thought of that I wanted to get your opinion on is really what is the best way to really grow like your subscribers. I can kind of give you a background of where I stand now,
No, it's fine.
but
It's
I guess
fine. It's fine. I'll tell you this, right? You're trying to become a fiduciary, right? So what are you doing?
you said if I'm trying to become a fiduciary, what am I doing as far
Yeah.
as with the
Yeah, the process. What is it
um
like?
so yeah, we pretty much are just we have to study for different licenses
Okay,
to
then
really
stop there.
become an
Stop there.
investment.
Stop there. Stop
Okay.
there. So that means you go
Okay.
out there, you read the books on YouTube, right? So you read the YouTube books,
Yes.
read the book I told you about, and then that way, because that can give you like some basic information, like okay, you have SEO optimization, so optimize your titles, optimize your description, have good thumbnails, have good content, but that's just all basic information. But you want to go ahead and basically dive into those books, get all those key little nuggets, and understand that no matter how great you do YouTube, it is not guaranteed. That's why I recommend, for example, also 1,000 super fans at Pat Flynn, because if you ever just get just 1,000 subscribers and you never grow again, you don't need more. Because if you have 1,000 people that basically ride with you, follow you, everything you do, that means 1,000 people, and you charge, for example, $10 a month. That's like $10,000 a month, right? So you don't need that many people, that many subscribers. But understand that YouTube, a part of it is luck, but it's not just luck. It's about saying like, hey, This is gonna be luck, but let me do everything possible in my abilities to kind of like put all the pieces in my favor to increase my chances. So that comes from understanding the algorithm, having good thumbnails, having good videos. But most importantly, it's not about the aesthetics of the videos, it's about the value in these videos. The only thing that matters a lot and costs a little bit of money is just like the audio. People hate bad audio, they can't stand it. So have, for example, like a good little mic, maybe $30, $50, just will help you out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I do have a mic and a camera where I do my videos. I guess another question I thought of is like how do you feel about when it comes to like just the amount of time of your videos when you think about like watch hours, what is a good amount of time that I should record a video as far as how long
The
it should
general
be?
rule, the general rule is 10 minutes, no more than 18 minutes. But
No more
sometimes
than
like
18
like like Einstein says, right? Things need to be as simple as it can be and no more. So if you have a topic that's very complex and you want to break it down, most likely won't get a lot of views. It's basically like niche, but it's about making
minutes.
sure whatever you're trying to say kind of gets across, right? So the average rule is 10 minutes. If you notice, like every YouTube video is like 10 minutes. Every Facebook video is like 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Is because basically 10 minutes allows you to add, for example, extra ads in your videos. So that's why those videos are 10 minutes. But I don't recommend you make a video 10 minutes if it's not a 10-minute video because it's just
Okay.
trash. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that
And
makes
those
sense.
and
That
those
makes
10,000 hours, I mean 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers, they're gonna take a while. But again, just be patient, work towards what you're doing, and have like a game plan. So have a way to convert the people that actually want to join into whether you have like a little PDF you're selling, a little ebook, a little course, or whatever it is. There's a lot of ways to monetize your channel that don't involve YouTube. The good thing is that YouTube right now
yeah.
pays financial channels a lot of money, but that could change in the future. So you got to make sure you have your own ways to monetize your channel. That's why I say Pat Flynn is one of the best people to learn from as far as monetization.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely going to check out his book. I think it'd be really informative. So, like, do you think for someone like myself that is trying to build credibility around the financial channel to also create courses or having merch and things like that associated with it that could bring that could build more rapport and be able to
I
build the
mean,
audience, build my
I
audience
mean,
even more?
I think there's a way to influence people. You have, for example, you you listen to their story, right? You become interested in them, and then you can kind of like tell them about your solution, which is fine. But it's just like this natural format. Even Jesus did this. Okay, it's like about like, okay, if I meet you, Kevin, I hear your story, I understand you, I become interested in it, and then I can tell you about maybe a solution or what happened in my life to actually help me out, right? It's the same process. But if I just met you and I'm like, yo, buy my t-shirt, it's kind of trash because I'm not gonna buy nothing because I don't know you. If I just met you and I don't know you either, and then you want to send me a course, most likely you won't get any sales. But it's okay, just because you're not credible right now doesn't mean you don't deserve to be credible or you just don't have good information, right? So it's good to have those things ready, give a lot of free value. So when the time does come, you offer those things. One thing that I follow is basically that as I'm building my course right now, all the content that's in that course, I've shared it, for example, in lives for free. I shared it, for example, in the main channel, every channel. But the main difference is basically the course just has everything put neatly and tightly into just one package. So it's not like a paywall, it's more like a convenience wall. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So just build
Yeah.
just build your audience, focus on your content. Stop overthinking things. How many videos do you post? How many videos you got right now?
I got. I'm doing. I would probably say. I probably would say I probably got somewhere close to like 70 videos right now
S-
on the channel. I've been doing it for like a year, a little over a year, and I have like
Nice.
64 subscribers. But it's been a slow grind. But
64?
I definitely, yeah, 64.
Yeah, you're probably doing
Yeah.
something wrong.
I
Yeah.
mean,
So you wanna you wanna you
that's kind
wanna
of.
Yeah, you wanna go ahead and read the book I told you, because a year of making videos, 70 videos is basically meaning you're making well, no, not really. Yeah, so yeah, that's not good at all. Cause is it? No, it's actually fine because you're making more than a video a week on average, right?
Yeah, I do about a couple videos a week. And then I take some of the micro clips and put them on other social media. But YouTube just is about two a week that I'm putting out
Don't do that.
consistently.
So look, man, YouTube is YouTube, Instagram is Instagram, TikTok is TikTok. You can't be lazy and just like copy and paste, right? So
No,
you
no, no.
have
I'm not copying and pasting. I'm not copying and pasting.
you're taking like
There's
micro
it's
links, right? You're
different
taking
content.
like micro cuts, right?
Yeah, it's micro clips, but I'm not putting like my
When
whole
you go
entire like
when
video.
you go to, for example, when you go to one of your favorite creators like Instagram, what do you expect to see there?
A lot of the creators that I do follow, they'll do micro clips
No, no,
of
no, 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 no,
their
no, no, no,
content.
no. I'm telling you, what do you expect to see there?
I mean, what I expect to see is just great quality content. Them just talking about whatever I have an interest in wanting to learn about whatever topic that I'm
What I
researching
expect to
about that I
see
want to learn.
is usually another side to you, right? Maybe like a little bit more personal. So when I go to Graham's channel, there's none of that microclip nonsense. It's just more like it's like those little like moments in time that he captures. Same thing. Like Gary Vee's like a little bit more different, but remember, right? Gary Vee has a whole machine behind him. Minority Mindset's doing that also, but a lot of financial channels, a lot of those guys just have, for example, like Instagram based content, right? They're not like trying to like exploit Instagram, which you could, by the way, but I recommend highly, right? Just make content for content, right? So make when you are Gary V, you can have, for example, an hour meeting, chop it up, chop it up, chop it up, because you're Gary V, so people are gonna watch whatever you do. But when you're first getting started, you kind of have to try just a little harder. Meaning, if you're gonna be doing YouTube, you make that YouTube exclusive content. Then you also go on Instagram, you make that Instagram exclusive content, that TikTok exclusive content, and it's hard work, right? But it gets you to be more effective, right? Does that make
I see what
sense?
you're saying. Yeah, it does. So
That's
so
that's what
just
I would
so
do.
I can so just so I can try a different strategy here. So you're saying if I do a 10-minute YouTube video, let's say I'm just talking about like
What
investing
I'm
in the
saying
stock market.
is this conversation is not going to go anywhere. What I'm saying is you have to read those books. There's something that you're missing, and you're not going to get it from this call, because this call is just a very simplistic way of me pointing you into the right direction, right? So you got to go ahead. You got to wait before there's a book that I actually read on YouTube. I got it here on my Audible account. It's a great book. Give me a second. Let me pull it up for you so I can give it to you.
Okay.
The book is called, let me see, it's called YouTube Secrets by Sean Cannell, Benji Travis. It's a great book on YouTube, man. You just wanna one of the creators that helped me a lot was I took a course by Graham Stephan, his YouTube course. I took a course by Sunny. It's like a lady, and she did a great job too. I read the books on by Gary Vee, also read the books by Pat Flynn, read the book on YouTube Secrets. All those things kind of help you, what you're gonna get, for example, from
Okay.
like 30 hours of like reading those books versus what I'm gonna give you in this call right here, it's just not gonna be the same. So that's why I rather point you in the right direction. So just points of action, if
Yeah,
I
and
were
I
you, I would start reading those books today. As far as my channel, I'm gonna see exactly what my competitors are doing and try to do like a better version of them. Remember to include your personality in the videos. Ask people to actually subscribe to your channel. Be yourself. That's very important. And sometimes it's like hard because you kind of have like this corporate thing going on, but be yourself.
yeah,
There's so many channels out there, bro. Right? Nothing special about me or you. It's just that since
yeah,
we are individuals, that's what makes our channel special. Make sense?
yeah. It makes sense. It makes
That's what I
sense.
would do.
Um,
As far as like the podcast channel, start batching your content. So I'll pause right now and get like 10 more interviews. Once I have those, I start uploading them, for example, once a week. But now I have 10 weeks worth of content, and I have, for example, a massive head start. So that's always coming out. As you keep growing and growing and growing, learn to delegate, because As you delegate, you can get an editor to do a lot of the work for you that you basically don't want to do, which gives you more time to do the work that you actually do want to do. Is actually very important, like making content. Okay?
Yep. Yep, that's the plan. Yep, that's the plan.
Okay, brother. Any more
Yeah.
questions?
No, that'll do it. I appreciate your time so much.
I appreciate you, man. Again, Kevin, thanks for calling in. Always feel free to call in again. I'm happy to see you kind of like learning and seeking knowledge. So that's awesome. And see you later. Welcome to the long term team.
Sounds good. Same to
All
you.
right. All
All
right.
right,
Peace
bye-bye.
out.